Hey guys, Thursday, and that was like a dramatic moment kind of sound. Okay, the votes are in, and surprisingly, let's see, I believe as of coming down here, the last person to vote was Tom A, which I'm not exactly sure that you used the right wording when you said pecker wrecker for the win. Surprisingly, though, there was no votes for the Smoke on the Bayou, or whatever the hell it was called. The most votes were for Texas Crude and for Pecker Wrecker, and the winner is Pecker Wrecker, which is kind of funny because I'm not saying that I know you guys, but I actually put Pecker Wrecker on the shelf, which is the next up to be reviewed. Terrible and the Texas Crude were sitting in the next shelf below that, and Smoke on the Bayou was buried in the refrigerator. So this is the one that I predicted that you would pick. And I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with the name, and it has everything to do with that you guys are fans of Rahr and Sons and have had this, which it's an Imperial Pilsner. What can I tell you about it? It's a limited release. This particular one is 8% by volume and a Pilsner, okay? It has 70 IBU, and this is from 2014. 70 IBU out of a Pilsner. It's sounding more like it's going to be an IPA. And what more appropriate to have your pecker wrecked but a great big set of you know what? Yeah. Everything is bigger in Texas. Before I do that, though, you know, the what's my EDC today? I guess the not well pretending to work EDC, but the once I got home has been the Baby Eagle. I need to do a review on this. This is absolutely a fantastic gun. I really want to thank Jim Hornet Fixer and New York Half-Ass Prepper, NIHAP, for turning me in the direction of these. This I know Jim was telling me that they do offer a polymer and steel version. This one is an all steel and is an absolute delight to shoot and ridiculously accurate. And even though the all steel version is definitely hefty, it definitely comes set up. You know, you can pretty much rack this thing on just about anything, including your pants. And JR10, we got the Grizzly Extremes in there. He sent me one that he had done ballistics testing on, and it used to sit right here, and evidently somebody was looking at it and it must have broken off the box. But these when they hit, they open up like a propeller blade, so I would have to say that these would be very nasty to be hit with. But then again, for the non-gun people that watch me over here, because this is sometimes it's more guns and politics than it actually is a brew review, but you know, I've actually put out the vote before, asking the questions about the politics and the guns and the time, the length of the videos, and I actually take more shit for the short ones than I ever do for the long ones. Pretty much Alex and Ray. They make it about 30 seconds in, and but yeah, these are an extremely impressive round. But I guess what I was getting at is you know, the thing that makes you want to slap someone upside the head, but in a world where you can actually sue and win because you spilt coffee on you but didn't realize it was going to be hot, and the other stupid lawsuits that are out there, to actually think that for a moment that if you put a Punisher logo on your Glock, or maybe you have some equally impressive grips on your gun or the ammo that you carry, somehow it implies intent. Like you want somebody more dead than if you shot them with a regular ball ammo. I'm sorry, but if you're an attorney watching this, you have got to be the dumbest pieces of shit on the planet. I carry because in the event that something bad happens, I want to stack the odds on my behalf. Yes, statistically, there's still a chance that someone's going to get the drop on you, and or something, you know, maybe in your life, you know, you get, you know, like walking out of the house in the morning. I know some people, even people that carry, may not consider things, but you know, it's kind of like an awareness. You know, your surroundings, keeping an eye out the corner of your eyes. For instance, you know, even something as simple as when it's dark or it's night and you are carrying groceries. I always seem to have a tendency to leave my, depending on what side I carry on, because I have carried weak side, and I practice shooting a lot weak side, but I seem to carry like groceries and stuff with my left hand, leaving your right hand more free, because that's the side that the gun is on. It's just little things like that. But to know that the land of the lawyer, that if you put a Punisher logo on your gun, you might be more crazy. No, it's not like you're making it your own or whatever. Okay, so we got the guns, and I guess we touched on some politics right there too. Other than that, as far as that politics goes, another fail for Obama. My state, Minnesota, our largest health insurance provider, threw in the towel. So 65% of everybody that had medical coverage yesterday doesn't have it today because of Obamacare. Good job, Obama. Like anybody with half a brain didn't already know that it wasn't going to work. Of course, he knows it's not going to work either. His whole goal is to fundamentally change America into what he thinks, which would be socialism. So, you know, the one payer thing through government. That's the whole plan when this was all floated 20 plus years ago, and how to make it happen. Well, this is what happens when you have an imperial president who would rather everybody kneel down and kiss his ass when he walks by, as opposed to the fact that he is the weakest president in American history. And it's finally nice to see. I know several people that thought he was the greatest thing since ice cold beer, and now they can't wait to vote for somebody else, like the other side of the alley. Okay, rawr. Evidently Shelby's having fun up there, and yeah, I'm gonna wreck this pecker with charging handle. Okay, let's supersize these. What on earth are you doing? Oh yeah. That was a fairly careful pour too. We got plenty ahead. Well, surprisingly, it smells like a Pilsner. It smells good. I mean, this smells like your typical domestic. It's domesticated. So, yeah, right there. You know what I'm saying? I guess I don't really have much to add. I mean, if you've ever not smelt a Pilsner, then I'm not helping right now, but it smells like a Pilsner. 8% and 70 IBUs. Cheers, guys. Now, on the other hand, that that hoppy punch in the face that you may not be expecting, being that it's a Pilsner. I guess it's the Imperial part. That's kind of funny. Imperial President, Imperial beer. Except for this one's actually worth having around. You definitely get that citrus hit right up front. And it almost has kind of almost like a light medium kind of a mouthfeel. Whereas I've never had anything that would have been considered a Pilsner that had any weight to it at all. And this has definitely some substance to it. Right behind that punch of the citrus, you get a sweetness in there. Kind of a caramel sweetness. I think you're getting also. I'm noticing right along with that sweetness, the alcohol a little bit, which, considering I've had some pretty high end alcohol stuff, the fact that the 8% on this one kind of stands out a little bit. Not very well hidden. Ever just like staring at your glass? I said glass. The G. But I also would like to thank everybody who participated in the get out the vote. I don't remember what senator it was, but being, I think he's 74 years old, being a little out of it. They were trying to come up with ideas for the Democrats to get the vote out, and in his list of stuff, one of them was sexting, and then the reporter reported, "Don't you mean texting?" He's like, "Yeah, well, whatever one it needs to be." Maybe he meant sexting. Saying. Definitely isn't one-sided. It definitely has a little bit of a complexity to it. It's weird, is it getting around? Nothing about the taste says Pilsner. The smell says Pilsner. Yeah, this ain't bad at all. wasn't really prepared to come up with like a good rating for a high-end Pilsner. I mean, I've had some stuff from some of my local breweries that, you know, microbrew and put out their own Pilsner, and they're like a regular like Bent Paddles Pilsner. It just has a more of a hit. Trying to think of Oscar Blues. They've got just the little Mama's Little Pills, and those all are like a regular Pilsner on steroids. Where this kind of goes in a completely different direction. It's like, you know, Pilsner, kind of like a, I guess I'd almost say a light IPA. I guess if someone, again, that term, you know, hop curious, if you weren't sure if you'd like an IPA or not, I would maybe say if you can find Rar and Sons Pecker Wrecker, this is almost like a really good starting point, because it's definitely not a Pilsner, and it's not quite an IPA, but it's kind of like the best of both of them. And it's in a big old bomber, so that's okay. That's okay with me too. Mm. After that sweetness goes away, it's kind of a dry, bitter thing right at the end, and then it kind of leaves you with a Pilsner-ish bread or biscuit finish with a little bit of sweetness right there at the end. Anything that you notice moments before that dry or bitter area, I mean, 70 IBUs. We're not talking you know, Mickler's 1,000 or anything like that. Really kind of bummed. I really wanted to get another one of those, or get a few of those. There was like one of those deals where I bought one over at the Keyport, and they had, must have been 10 of them, and I just like thought about it the next day, and I was gonna get Paul over at PA Brew News one, and went back over there, and they're gone. So I don't know if someone just walked in and bought all of them, but you know, for 10 or $14 for a 12-ounce bottle. Pecker Wrecker. Let's see, this is brewed and bottled by Rar and Sons Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Go Texas. You know what I'm saying? Where's it on the E-scale? Well, it's like, I don't know, can you see that? I don't know. For Chuck, it's like nothing. But I'm like, did a ripped a roof off a garage, and that whole, you know, deadening the nerves by using the roof rake thing. I thought maybe a moment it was like, you know, like one of these. Where did I put this on the E-scale? Like I said, first of all, I don't know anything about Rar and Sons, so it wasn't like, ooh, this is going to be really good. The name and the bottle, funny. I'll probably keep that and put that along with a few of the other ones that I have. I had a whole pile of them, but I kind of gave up on that. It wasn't like that Glockgeist idiot that, you know, saves all that shit. I've saved a couple of them that I thought were fairly unique. The Hot Rod Ale I got over there, that limited reserve that Evil Neil gave me. I got the one with the Biohazard on there. I got the the Zombie Monkey, which actually was a pretty good beer. And then I really like the label from the Hopperation Triple Cross that Heffy gave me, which is a really cool bottle, but turned out to be shit inside. Okay. Smells like a Pilsner. Doesn't taste like one. Doesn't quite have all the ass kicking that you'd get on a straight IPA, but if someone just handed me this and said, "What is this?" I would see that would mess me up. That smell doesn't have a citrus smell. Doesn't smell sweet. It just kind of smells like a very high-end Pilsner. And the taste, get a little bit of that booziness. That's the one thing. I mean, I'm all for the booze part. It's just, disguised a little bit better. I have to say that, like I said, it's in kind of a weird category. Kind of like not a Pilsner and not an IPA, but we're going to pretend to be a little bit of both of them. So I would say Rar & Sons Pecker on the E scale. I'm gonna stick this guy with. It is pretty damn tasty though. What would Travis do? What would Glockice do? He'd just go, yeah. Yeah, it's got a woodpecker smoking a cigar, driving a tow truck on there, so that's got to be worth a good solid 8.5. Yeah. Now let me tell you something about that. Glockice, great guy. William, consider him a friend. Kind of pissed at obligations with the well, I can't even mention the branch of the government that he works for because all of a sudden, we'd lose the signal. And whenever I do that, everybody listening on headphones makes a comment, "Thanks a lot for making me brain dead." But he always seems to end his brew reviews by going, "That never used to bother me, but my useless slut of an ex-wife does that." So it's kind of like she wrecked it for everybody. Okay, what should we look at next? Well, the other three that you guys were voting on, they're all cold. Let's just keep on rolling, right? No. See, again, just a moment to think about it. Have a plan, as opposed to just opening the refrigerator and reaching in. We got stuff from Jerry. We got a shit ton of stuff from New York Half-Ass Prepper. As Chuck was so fond to point out that, just with what Johnnie sent up, we could probably do reviews for, the next couple of months. Mario Mosen, I still got something in here from him. I tell you what, tomorrow's a Friday, though. I usually like to look at something huge on a Friday. Yeah, we're gonna stick with this. Mario Mosen. Mario. Amber. Alt Style Ale from Alaskan. The only thing I've ever had from them is their white IPA, and I thought that was nasty. And a whole lot of it was left here, so there was a whole lot of nasty. So, let's look at this tomorrow. Can I tell you about it? Alaskan Brewing. I can't tell you the alcohol percentage. We get to have a little game. And I can't tell you no born on dates, no IBUs, just that boat. That's all I can tell you. So we're gonna take a look at this tomorrow. Maybe Saturday. Maybe Saturday's brew review, because hopefully I can I'll be enjoying a cold one with you guys, knowing that I actually don't have to get up at 3:45 in the morning to go work on something. Can make the attempt to not do anything on Sunday, but maybe run out to the shack, because we got what do I got? Nothing really new. That the AR pistol has not been sighted in. That was just, out at the chute. It was just, here, what do you think about this one? And it was kind of like, giggle, giggle, ow, that hurts. I really think I might be changing the brake on that. I mean, it's an effective little brake, but there's zero comfort zone to actually shooting that. That reminds you of what's happening every single time you pull the trigger. Yeah, the other one back there with the Midwest Industries rail on it, that one has to be sighted in too, but I don't know. Depends on who I'm bringing out there. I got a couple guys I know. I hope he doesn't hurt himself, and I'm not picking on him. It's just he's just getting old. But a big time shooter is a huge shooter. Thanks to him, made my life a lot easier as far as being a gun nut with Christine, Miss Boney. But her father, Roger, wants to shoot the 50. So maybe if the weather's nice, I'll get an opportunity to go out and put some rounds through the Baby Eagle and the 10mm Glock with that awesome rocket, Ghost rocket set in there. Actually, that was even juiced up a little beyond that, because Steve Bush sent me a spring, and when I put the spring in my G23, it got too light for a carry gun. I mean, I love a really light trigger, but it was like crazy light. So I swapped them, and I put the hammer spring out of the Ghost rocket kit into the 23, and the spring from Steve into the G20, and it's definitely a nice trigger. When you can hand the Glock to Ray, STL Ray Edwards, and have him go, damn, I want mine to feel like this. He has ordered the rocket kit. So Ray, if you're still with us at this point in the video, that rocket, just make sure you use that half plate on the back. Otherwise, you're going to. There's a way around that. There is a way around that. When the gun will not fire, and it's got a take-up bar on it, and it's you have to slowly file that down until your gun functions, which is why they send that little back half plate on there for the fitting purposes. But if for some reason, because it happened to me, using one gun, the 45, the Glock 45, to fit it, because I was impatient and didn't have that frame yet from Lucas Tactical. And then when I swapped them over, figuring it's identical shit, right? Nope, it wouldn't fire. And it didn't have the half plate on it, but all you have to do is rack it back, take the tension off the firing pin, pull the plate down, and then you can separate the two. But yeah, Ray, just take your time, file a little bit off that take-up bar, put it back together. If it doesn't fire, take a little bit more off. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Probably had that thing together and apart about 20 times, but got it right down there. And you've you fired that gun. That it's it's not a 1911, but I jokingly say it's a poor man's 1911 feel. It has really minimal everything, and right now it's at four pounds. So pretty good. It's not a carry gun though, so I'm cool with that. Okay, you guys, again, thanks to everybody that follows this channel. It's definitely well, there's alcohol involved, so that's probably why it's a fun time. So, cheers, guys. Me and the breasticles are gonna go hang out. It's just me and Shelby right now. And you guys that are married know what I'm talking about. You can still love them, but you get that quality time by yourself. Hell yeah. Me, Shelby, and some peanut butter.